Hello and welcome to this week's vlog. So this week we are going to be focusing on my NetGalley books. Now I currently have 121 books on my NetGalley list, and I have had some of these books for so long that they've already been published for either a year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't even know. So at one point I was doing this for my TikTok where I was trying to get through the books. So I wrote them all down and I have them in this jar. Now, since I did this, the number that I have had has changed, and because I have gotten more books. I'm not going to put the new ones in here just because I don't even know where I started with this. I think what I'm going to do is, pull one from here, read it, and then the next book, I think I'll just start from like the very beginning, like the very top, because I know for sure those aren't in this jar. With NetGalley at first, when I first got it, of course I was just requesting anything, and then at one point I was just getting as many read nows as I could. The one thing that gets me the most is Wednesday Books, whenever they put a bunch of books on NetGalley and you just read for read nows. And at first I would just get all of them. Like, I didn't care what it was, I just grabbed them. Now I'm a little bit more picky. I actually do read the description to see if I'm actually going to like it before I grab it. And then I have a couple on here that I have gotten, there are a couple of ones on here that I have gotten because I've read a different book and reviewed it, so they gave me either one that's similar to it or by the same author, the next one kind of like that. So for first, we are going to pick something from this jar. Now this jar has, I don't know if you can see it, a lot in here. And I hope I just didn't drop any. Okay. So let's see, so the first book we are going to try and read, and if it is something that is already published, I kind of want to see if I can get the physical book for it, because sometimes it's hard for me to read ebooks just because I don't have a Kindle. I'm currently saving up for one, but I have like my big tablet or my phone. I kind of lose interest whenever it's not like physically in front of me for some reason. I don't know why. I'm trying to work on that. So the first book we're going to do is Someone Is Always Watching. Now I am just going to, I have my laptop right here, so I'm just going to, okay, it took me a second to find this book on here because whenever I tried to search it, it didn't pop up, but so I had to physically scroll and try to find it because I'm like, I have it on here, so it's somewhere. So I did find it. It looks like it was published last year. And based off of my Kindle app, I have started reading it, or I read a little bit, like maybe like not even a page. So this is the book. So I do like the cover of this one. So this one seems promising, which kind of looks like a thriller, which apparently is what I was honestly just reading for February for some reason. I'm going to see if my library has it. And if so, we're going to get it. I have 17 copies, wow. And one on order and 12 available. Okay, perfect. So I went ahead and put it on hold, but we're going to go ahead and read it from our Kindle app until we get that book. Interesting. So apparently this book is about a dead principal, and I guess them trying to figure out what's going on. So we're going to start this book and see how we like it. So editing me here, this next clip you're about to see, you're just going to be seeing the road because I did it in my car and I was thinking that it was on me the whole time, but apparently wasn't. So just enjoy me talking and the scenery. Hello, today is Wednesday. I just got the book from the library, so I now have it physically. I listened to it a little bit on Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. I do not like the narrator for this book. So, but I am liking the book so far. I didn't read at all on Monday because I was sick and stayed home from work. And yesterday I read more of some other books that I have. So haven't read this one. But, so I haven't read since Sunday. But now that I have like the physical book, I think that's going to help out a lot. I think I got through the first check. Honestly, don't even know. So I really tried to listen to the audiobook, but I was not a fan of the definitely just gonna have to keep reading this book and maybe go back and forth. From now that I have the physical book, I can read that, and then at nighttime I can read off my phone. But this seems like a real easy book, and I think I'm going to be able to get through it pretty fast. So there's like almost 400 pages, which in YA books and stuff like this usually doesn't take me that long. So we will see what happens. So a little update, it is now a Friday. Yesterday I only got to chapter 4. And now I am on chapter 14, so I've read 10 chapters today, which is great. I really wish that I liked the narrator for this book, because I feel like I would be getting through this a lot faster, but unfortunately I do not. So we are on page 145, and I think there's like almost 400 pages, or like 345 or something like that. So I'm gonna keep reading. It is now at 9:30. I do have to work in the morning, so I kind of want to just at least get to like 200 pages, and then I think I'd call it a good day. Then tomorrow I do have a setup, which is kind of, and it's kind of a little bit of a drive, so that's why I kind of wish that I liked this narrator. I think what I might do is, before I go to bed, I'm gonna try to find a book that's on there that's maybe already released, and maybe I can start listening to that while I drive. So we'll see. Okay, so we just got to chapter 19, which is pretty much page 198. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. It is now 10:16, so it's been a little under an hour since I started reading. I am this much. I have about. So this is where I'm at. So I have about like this much left, which is not that bad. So I'm hopeful to finish it tomorrow. I do have plans tomorrow because it is Saturday, but that doesn't start until like way later in the night. So I have plenty of time, but I also need to film my wrap up. So we'll see. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to NetGalley and see if there are any books that are already published that have audiobooks, and see what we can read tomorrow. Okay, so I found the book that we're going to read. So tomorrow we're going to read When You Get the Chance by Emma Lord. This got published in 2022. I'm not sure what this is about at all, but from what I've read from the top page, it says, "I searched for her birth mother, a crush on her rival, and what's life without a little drama." So that sounds very good and kind of a different pace from what I have been reading. And I read a lot of thrillers this month for February. I'm not sure why, so it's definitely going to be good to be getting into something a little bit different. So good morning. Okay, so I'm about to leave for work, and I started When You Get the Chance. And I don't know if it's because it's early and the audiobook narrator is really upbeat. I've only been like a few seconds in. I'm not really a fan of it right now. Again, I don't know if it's because it's early and I'm just not awake yet, but I'll try it again when I actually go to my setup. But for right now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to listen to this one again, which is fine. I did request it from the library, so I'm not sure when that's going to be ready. So maybe I can get it today, or I'll most likely get it on Monday, which is probably when it'll most likely be ready. But I feel like between these two books, and this one's only 10 hours, and this one is a YA, so it might not take as long, because I'm getting through these other YA book pretty fast. So we will try again on the way to my setup, and if I don't like it, then I'll probably either just listen to music or find another audiobook I'm already listening to. So good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm currently getting ready to go to the flea market, and I thought I would update y'all a little bit. So I ended up finishing Someone Is Always Watching last night. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, and I have already got my NetGalley review already posted, so that helps. I am now at 24%. And your approval rate needs to be 80. So, and I am now at 120 books, which is still a lot. I am hoping to get maybe back to 100 by like June, because the goal is, so what I did is I picked a book from this jar, which I Don't even know where that little paper went, and I wasn't even sure what I was going to do with those. Either I was going to throw them away or put them somewhere else. But I picked a different book just out of random, which you saw in my other clip. And that was When You Get the Chance. Now, when I first started reading it, I kind of wasn't a fan of the audiobook, but I think that was just because it was too early, and when I was on my way to work, I was not awake yet. So I ended up, while I was waiting to go do my setup, I ended up listening to it, and I actually really started to enjoy it. I got through 3 chapters listening to it, and then I got through 1 chapter reading last night. So I am now on chapter 5, so I am now going to listen to that while I get ready. And it's not really taking that long. I think it's only 10 hours, and I think I got through like an hour and something yesterday. So we will see. I don't think I'm driving, so I'll probably read on the way there also. But yeah, I just wanted to update y'all and to let you know what was happening. So we just got back from the flea market, and I ended up getting, there's a bookstore in there, and I usually don't get anything, but since I've started on this whole Stephen King journey, I got 2 books. I got Firestarter, and then I got the complete and uncut version of The Stand. I didn't know there was a complete uncut version. I didn't know that it got uncut, but they did have the original one, but I ended up going with this one because I'm like, might as well. I read a different book that I am reading for a different video, and I read When You Get the Chance on the way home. I only read 1 chapter, so now I am on chapter 8, which, listening to them and actually like reading them, it's actually a pretty fast-paced book. And with my whole reading, Someone Is Always Watching, that took me like 3 days, and I think it's because I haven't been reading YA as much lately. I've been reading mostly adult books, which take a little bit longer. So it's been kind of nice just reading YA for a little bit. So it's a little more fast paced, and I'm reading a little bit more. So we'll see. Okay, so I just finished When You Get the Chance. Why do I keep forgetting the name of this book? So I just finished When You Get the Chance, and I ended up actually really liking this book. There was a couple of times where I wasn't like the biggest fan of it, but by the ending I thought it was great. So I'm having fun with this, and I am on a roll, so we're just gonna keep going. So I have my jar here, so let's pick another one and see if we can get. I am now at 24%. And 119, and I have 119 books left, which is still a lot. So the next one we're gonna do is House of Glass Hearts. Now, honestly, I have no idea what that is. So, NetGalley. Let's see. So if this one is already published, then we for sure will try to find. I ended up canceling the library book for When You Get the Chance because honestly I finished it way before it even got to the library, so we're good. So okay, so I found the book. So it was published in 2021, so we will most likely be able to find the audiobook. We might be able to find the physical book. So I'm gonna go ahead and find it. We are done with this book, and let's see how this next one goes. So I got off early today, and I ended up going to the library just because I got rid of a book because I DNF'd it for now. I don't know if I'm going to get back into it. We'll see. I feel like I was reading it for so long, and there was still so much book left. I just couldn't take it anymore. But I was looking, and I saw The Stranded, and it seemed really familiar. Like, I feel like this is in my NetGalley list, and it is. So I picked it up. I thought it would be, okay, if we're doing this video, so why not? I think I've read a book similar to something that's on a ship. I don't think it's this one because even my Goodreads says I haven't read it yet. So we're going to start this one. The other one that I picked, I honestly haven't even tried to read it yet. So we'll see on that one, but for sure we're going to try and get this one done by Sunday. It is now Thursday, and it doesn't seem, it's only 300 something pages. But there is a lot of chapters, but it doesn't... Ma'am? It's only like 300 something chapters, or 300 and something pages, and the chapters seem to be really short, so I feel like this might not take me that long, but we'll see. I feel ridiculous because I've read this already. So I was like reading it a little bit, and then I was like, I'm reading the back, I'm reading the first chapter, I'm like, I've read this. So I have this booklet that I have all my NetGalley ones, and I've read it. And I read it sometime last year. And when I looked it up at the library, I was like, oh, I just, you know, I looked at it and was like, oh, it popped up, so I must not have read it. But then when I didn't look at the, I didn't look at the, do a feedback, and I've left a feedback. I don't know what it is, and see, it even says, oh, it says another edition. Started June. Yeah, I read it. No, I read it 2 years ago. Okay, so apparently it was a different edition. So it didn't. So apparently it was a different edition. So that's why it. And it says another edition on Goodreads. So that is probably why it didn't save. Well, now it's saved, and it hasn't gone towards my reading challenge, which I didn't want it to because I didn't. Okay, well, now I don't want to take this out because I'm just gonna knock this out and be like, ignore. And then I'll just write something else. Okay. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and I'm just so upset with myself, and I cannot stop thinking about how I picked up a book I've already read. So I'm just gonna finish this video here. I'm gonna try and read the book that I have picked out, the last one. But I'm just gonna end this video here. So I hope you enjoyed this. I do want to do this again because I did get through 2 NetGalley books, which is good. I have a couple more videos that I want to do before. I have another video idea that I will maybe start tomorrow. I don't know yet, but I hope you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.